It's Margaret with Forward Kind Heart. So sorry it took me a couple minutes. I am switching platforms and it took me a minute just to figure out how to get everything uploaded and ready to go. But thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the Dream Sessions. This is session number 3. So glad you could be here. So who am I? I am Margaret Bell. I am a dream weaver and tender. Actually, I'm a dream analysis, but that does not sound sexy or interesting or really doesn't have any flavor. So I like dream weaver and dream tender. I specialize in empowering empaths so that they can really embrace that, because empathy is a superpower, not a curse, and it can feel that way. So I specialize in helping empaths really own it and embrace it and empowering them. And I love working with dreams. I'm passionate about it. So I'm really glad that you are here. So there are 2 ways you can participate. The first way is to watch live, and then you can write your comments. You can share your dreams, fun stuff like that. Or you can send me your dream. And either way, I will get to your dream. If I have a lot of dreams, I might message you and we might have a little side conversation. But for now, I've got time and I've got people that are, ready to share their dreams. And we'll have a different topic each week. And I'm really going to do the synchronistic thing and see what comes up. Such as today, the topic of today is going to be sex dreams. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up our space. So grab some candles if you want, grab some crystals, and we'll just get ready. So exciting. So I'm going to open up the space. I have this beautiful little singing bowl, so we'll start with that. I don't know if you can hear that. Got my candle. Maybe, there we go. I really like these candles. They've got the wood wick, so it sounds like fire. Okay. And so we're going to set our intention to help us, and then I'll show you the crystals and we'll pull an oracle card. So thank you for all the Velvet Von Black on Instagram people that are joining us today. Okay, so an intention is really great when we are going to sleep or just in anything we do. It really helps bring the mindfulness and remind us of what we're doing and why we're doing it. So our intention today is really just to connect to our inner wisdom, the dream wisdom, because I love it. Our dreams really connect us to our soul wisdom, our deep inner wisdom, as well as connect us to other wisdom. And we'll explore these each week. Okay, so the crystals that spoke to me today, one is, this is Septarian, and it really connects to the root chakra. So it's very grounding. It helps harmonize, balance, as well as open communication and intuition. The other crystal is this beautiful little amethyst. And amethyst is, related to our crown chakra, and it really connects us. It's a very calming and meditative stone. So let's go ahead and pull the card to kind of guide our session today. And today I'm using the Osho Zen tarot deck. And it's more of an oracle deck. You'll see. Go ahead and pull a card. Sorry, I switched platforms and I keep forgetting where I need to look. Oh my gosh, okay. Ooh, delicious. So the card today is projections. And aren't we talking about sex dreams today? So very interesting that it would be projections and how we put our stuff onto other people. And it's easier to put the stuff we don't accept about ourselves. So a lot of times projections can be related to shadow And that's how we really, a first step in identifying shadow is if I don't like something or I judge something in somebody, that is a sign that that's part of my shadow that I need to work with. And shadow manifests in lots of delicious and yummy ways in our dreams. So that is really exciting. So let's jump into sex dreams. And the reason I chose this topic is because last week, 2 people talked to me about sex dreams, and we have them all the time, myself included, but we get really embarrassed. We don't want to talk about it. We feel weird. We feel shame. A lot of the stuff in our waking life transfers over to our dream life, and we don't explore that. We, just like we don't talk about our sex life a lot, we don't talk about our sex dreams. So sex dreams really are a sign of creation. They can be a sign of power, and they can also be a message of intimacy. So really taking that time and cultivating what was going on in your sex dream, and who you were having sex with. Who are you being intimate with? So was it the same sex? Was it the opposite sex? So if it's the same sex, that's really inviting you to look at what inside of you do you need to cultivate? Do you need to be more intimate with for your gender? So is there something that you're not cultivating? So if you're male, is there something about the masculine essence of you that you need to be more intimate with, more in touch with? Maybe you're too in touch with it. Really looking at the context of your dream. Was it passionate? Were you just caught up in the moment of love? Or was it like rape or something very uncomfortable that might be feeling like it's being taken from you? Like as a woman, maybe something of your feminineness is being taken from you, or you're not having enough power over that aspect of yourself. Same with, opposite sex dreams. So is this a message that you're needing to cultivate more of your masculinity, more of your feminineness? Are you being invited to create something such as, you think about sex and it's all about creation. So is there something that you need to create? Is there something you need to incubate? Are you being called to really honor, to really harvest something, to really bring something to life? And we had our projection card. And so when we think about shadow and sex and the taboo and how it manifests in dreams, I had a dream, oh my gosh, probably about a year ago, and it was very shadow-esque, and it was like the end of the world, and so I had to, be intimate with this person almost as if we were recreating the world or savoring these last moments about being in the moment, being passionate, being led by our desires. And I know a lot of times I'm talking about a very taboo and touchy subject today, because when these dreams come up, people are kind of like, oh, I had this dream. We're embarrassed. We don't want to get into it. But this is really the rawness of humanity. This is how we are created. This is how we connect on very deep levels. This is also how we avoid emotional connection, how we detach from ourselves. So when you have a sex dream, really looking at, is it intimate? Is it romantic? Are you caught up in the throes of passion? Or is it destructive? Is it a sign that you're not emotionally connected or you're detached? And I know I'm throwing a whole bunch at you, So let me just break this down a little bit. So you wake up, you have this crazy sex dream. You're super embarrassed. You might call your best friend, tell your partner, depending, because sometimes we don't tell our partners because we've dreamt about somebody else and we feel guilty. That's okay. This is part of life, and this is part of your soul trying to connect to you, trying to give you a message. And you're the one, waking up trying to figure out, what is the message? So take some time if you can. You might have to jot it down real quick, get a video recording, or not video, sorry, voice recording really quick, maybe while you're brushing your teeth. Maybe a little hard. Okay, so maybe while you're putting on your makeup, put your recorder on your phone and speak your dream so that you can come back to it. And how we opened up the space today, you can, come in, light your candle, play some music, do the singing bowl, whatever feels natural to you. And then really look at the dream and start with, what was that gut feeling? What was the feeling when you woke up, when you were in the dream? Was it, oh my gosh, it was so passionate. Oh, this was a wonderful dream. Or was it, ew, gross? Or was it a nightmare? Did you feel violated? Because those are going to be signs to help you get to that deeper meaning. So then you take that, oh, that was so passionate. That was so lovely. Or, oh, that was horrible. I felt like I was violated. Then you look at the person or persons that it was with, and how do you feel about that person? Did you wake up and you're like, ew, no, never, disgusting? That's a sign that you have some shadow coming through, and you need to look at what was it about them that you were repulsed by, that you were disgusted by, that grossed you out. Or if you're like, oh, they were wonderful. What was it about them that was so wonderful? And with each of these, looking to see, do I have those qualities in me? Do you need to embrace those qualities? Do you need to cultivate those qualities? Do you need to integrate those qualities for yourself and your growth? Also, sex dreams, because we're talking about creation, there's also this creation and rebirth and death cycle that can be there. So was it violent? Was it tragic? Was it traumatic for you? Did you feel violated? Is there something that you really aren't accepting that you need to accept, embrace, and integrate about yourself? Or is there something that you need to let go, that you need to release, that maybe it's not serving you anymore? And so that part of you, that the rapist part of you, really is showing that power and inviting you to look at that power. Either you're giving your power to that aspect of yourself or to somebody else. So in those very violent dreams, looking at, am I giving my power away? How am I giving my power away? How can I bring it back? Or is it this being taken from me because it no longer serves me? Remember, our dreams speak in a whole other language, and it can be really confusing, but it's also beautiful. This rich, deep, personal symbolism, as well as what Jung called the collective unconscious. So how we're all connected through myth, through story, through culture. And you can also then take your dream to that place. Well, how does my culture treat this? How does my culture view this? Could this be an archetype? And so a lot of times archetypes are those, they represent something. Like I always think of like the mother archetype. It is all these generalizations. It is what mother symbolizes to society. And it can change from society, from culture to culture. The father archetype, the wise man archetype. I think my first video I talked about the sage archetype, that like wise wisdom archetype. So really go with your gut. When you first wake up from your dream, what was your gut reaction? You might have been embarrassed, feeling a bit shame, a bit guilt. We often are when we dream of sex. That's okay. It's normal. But then after that, where you're like, oh my gosh, that was a beautiful dream. That was so intimate. Go with that. What intimacy do you need to cultivate within yourself? Not only with yourself, look at the person you're intimate with. What qualities do they have that are asking you to really embrace? As well as what qualities do they have that you need to embrace in life? So there's all these rich, deep, beautiful multi-layers to our dreams that are internal and external and global. And I really hope that I'm not overwhelming you with all these layers. And again, that's where we get into the gut and really looking at, was this a me dream? Was this about stuff I need to work on? Is this a dream about somebody else? Something that might benefit me? Like I was saying, sex dreams can be about creation. So maybe this is an invitation for you to partner with somebody to create something, to bring something into this world. Or is it this collective unconscious sort of dream? Are archetypes coming to speak to you? Are other wisdoms coming to speak to you? Are you connecting to the soul fabric of the universe and culture and community and trying to weave that into your life? So I know I just threw a whole bunch at you. So I'll go ahead and summarize it. So when we dream about sex, it can be very multi-layered depending on the context. So looking at the context. Was it pleasurable? Was it intimate? Was it raw? Was it vulnerable? These are things that we associate with intimacy, being raw and vulnerable. And we as people do not always like being raw and vulnerable. So it could be a call for you to be more raw, to be more vulnerable. If it's a violent dream and your vulnerability is being taken from you, how do you have boundaries with that? How do you make sure that you share your vulnerability with the right people? That you're not vulnerable with the wrong people? And are you owning your power? So again, long-winded there. Looking at the context, really exploring the context, the emotions, what was happening, and seeing how you either need to cultivate and embrace those emotions or perhaps have boundaries with those emotions. And then looking at the person or people and what qualities do they have. Are there qualities there that are asking you to be embraced and integrated? Are there qualities that you are projecting onto other people? Like our card, projection. We're really good about projecting things that we are unwilling or unable or not in a place to accept about ourselves. And again, that takes us back into shadow. And if you're wondering if shadow is presenting yourself in a dream, shadow is elusive, and a lot of times the shadow element will not face you. So it's like a person that will not look at you, or that you can only see part of them. And it can also be a dark figure. So are you projecting in your dream, and that's why you're having this sexual dream, and your shadow is kind of asking you, be intimate with me, embrace me, love me, accept me. So looking at that aspect as well. So when you have a sex dream, I know it's embarrassing, we don't like to talk about it, being able to really just, be like, okay, wow, the two people that shared their sex dreams with me. And if you have a dream, even if it's not a sex dream, you can write it in the comments and we'll explore that. We don't, your dream does not have to be on topic with the topic that I'm presenting. So don't ever feel like it has to be that. But their dreams had a violent note to them. They were one was very war-esque, there was war, there was blood, there was death. And a lot of times these dreams are a sign that the soul is changing, it's growing, it's evolving. So it is killing off aspects of itself that no longer serve your highest good so that you can integrate new aspects. So if you like all this war and violence and then you're having this passionate lovemaking, there are parts of you that are dying in your soul. And I made that sound really bad. It's things that are no longer serving you, that are being put to rest so you can integrate these new beautiful parts of you. And the other dream was very violent, not violent, but just odd, which our sex dreams can be. It was people layered on top of people, kind of melting together in this very sensual way, and the room smelt of sex and just these people just together, fusing together. And so that tells me that is integration. This person is integrating a lot and being able to look at the people. And these people were all different shapes and sizes and colors. And it was just this multicultural pot of melting people together in a very sensual and sexual way. And so that, to me, is that just so much like just integration, becoming whole, accepting everything and all of self. So I think that's it for my long-winded take on sex dreams. So if you're working with a sex dream, take that time to get that first gut hit. That if you wake up, what is your gut reaction to this dream? And then in that gut hit, is there a quick takeaway that you can take away? Oh, I'm working on integration. Oh, I have projections. I'm working on shadow. Oh, I need more intimacy. I am giving away my power. It can be that quick, that easy. Or if you're like, oh my gosh, that was so complex, there was so much going on. Like I said, hit your voice recorder on your phone while you're getting ready in the morning. Say it. It's best if you can go over it a couple times in first person. I am in a boat with so-and-so, and we start passionately making love under the stars. And it's romantic, and it's beautiful, and I can smell the fresh water, and I can feel the cool air on my skin. I have the goosebumps, really putting yourself there. I like to think of it as if you're having a conversation with a blind person and you want them to truly be immersed in the experience. You want them to truly be able to visualize what it is that you are going through. So you do that and you hit your 5 senses. What did you see? What did you taste? What did you smell? What did you feel? And what did you hear? And then start going into different things you associate with different elements of the dream. Are there any, like I was talking about the collective unconsciousness earlier, are there aspects of that? Are there aspects of otherworldliness? Are there aspects of myth and legend and archetypes? These sex dreams are like I was talking about, they're about intimacy, they're about vulnerability, they are about creation, and they are about death and destruction and power. And your job as the dreamer is to decipher, to figure out what it is that this dream is trying to tell you, so you can get to the next level of your soul's evolution, which is exciting and fun and helps open you up as a person, especially these vulnerable, raw, intimate dreams. They're really asking us to grow as a person so that we can be more intimate in our relationships. We can be more raw, more vulnerable. And if it's a dream about power, that we are owning our personal power. Because when we own our personal power, we inspire those around us to own their personal power. So these are really exciting, delicious, yummy dreams, even though when we wake up, we don't always feel that way about them. Okay, so thank you for joining me today. This was wonderful. So if you want, I have my little notes here. I didn't want to forget anything. On this page, there's a sign up button. So if you want more dream, wonderful deliciousness, you can join me for my 3-day dream journey. And you'll get an email. Hello. And it'll guide you in the whole process that I use for dreaming and help connect you to your deeper dream wisdom. And also when you sign up for that, you get an invite to my Facebook dream group, Sacred Dream Space. And that's where you can get community support from other dreamers, which I love because it's so interesting when you share a dream and you get other people's opinions on it. We a lot of times like, oh, is it this? And we're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that. That sounds so right on. So you get that, and then you can always join me every Monday, 10 p.m. Pacific. 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And for my mountain people, which I am, 11 a.m. every Monday, I'm going to be here. For everybody who joined me today, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're here. I look forward to working with dreams next week. Don't forget, you can either be here or message me your dreams. Thank you again so much. Have a beautiful, fabulous week, and I will see you next week. Bye.